We're going to make a mixed green wreath with various greens. The first component we use is balsam fir, and that'll be our back to our wreath. We use this kind of a bluish, which is our Fraser fir, which is the type of trees we also carry. And this is a western cedar. This is a very different fir from the west coast called noble fir. It has very bumpy or triple needle consistency. It's got a nice cough color to it. We use a variegated boxwood. Most people have boxwood in their yard, but this is a variegated boxwood. And then we use a blue juniper. That's how we get the blueberry. And those, we usually stick to about 5 or 6 components so we don't get confused. And it's makes a nice little wreath like that. So we'll start off, and I'll show you how we kind of start off the whole deal. We make a backing. So we use the balsam for a backing, and the whole key to the wreath production is keeping the same consistency in the same bunches in the same order. So we start with this is going to be a 16-inch ring and a roll of wire. We start on the very bottom to give our backing, and we roll a couple of times to hold it in place. Then we take our next component, which is the Fraser fir, and we make kind of like little bouquets. And then the whole key again is the spacing of these things. So if you just give me a moment, we'll slip this on, do a little snip snip, and we'll get going with this. We turn this way so you get the nice blue color. We make one wrap, give her a little tug, keep it in place. Take the next component, which is our cedar, and we could take the cedar, we could probably make 2 pieces out of the cedar. So we just want a little accent piece to it, and we just kind of lay it there and there. Again, one more spool. Then we take our noble fir, and we take the noble fir and we just lay it right on top. So we have somewhat of a bouquet being put together. We take the boxwood, lay the boxwood there, and the last component of the bunch is the juniper. And then this is done repetitively around the ring until we finish it, of course. And this wreath here will probably take around 25 or 30 bunches of this material in that order. So that's how we start this whole wreath. And then the next one, of course, is like we talked about the spacing. We want to make sure the spacing is correct, so we try to gauge the same spacing by looking at the back of the wreath and laying it over. It's usually about a 3 or 4 inch spacing. And again, we just follow the same composition that we started with the first bunch. Take the same components and just repeat them. This is all nice fresh material. These are off of our trees. We do have some bottom parts of the tree that we take off so we don't throw away. We recycle pretty much everything we have here. And just by merely repeating the pattern, the wreaths will start to take shape, and we'll have something in about 30 minutes. These are all our handmade wreaths. Most wreaths people are buying in the stores are made in Canada, and they're made out of one component, which will be probably more than likely balsam fir. These tend to last a lot longer. They're a little bit showier, and we've had folks come back and tell us they last all the way up till February or March, as long as they're given a little moisture in the house, depending on the heat factor in the house, of course. But basically it's just a bunch of bunches, and it's all in the spacing. And there you go. And here's our finished product after we add a few little berries and cones, and we end up with the same components. If you recognize any of the pieces in here, we started with the balsam, went with the Fraser fir, a little bit of noble fir, a little bit of cedar, a juniper, and variegated boxwood. And that's our finished product.